get those shirts from Peacock. Well, good morning and good afternoon to some, and happy Thursday. And welcome to another episode and another edition of the Chargers Power Hour. Thanks to shout out to JD backstage, the fella always rocking backstage. Appreciate you. Want to pull up that neon Peacock ad? Shout out to the channel sponsor and the show sponsor, neonpeacockmerch.com. While I'm there, you might want to check out your Lightning Ladd shirt and also your LA Charger Jam Shirt. Trust me, there's not a thing over there on Neon Peacock merch you won't find. If it's custom tees, it's hoodies, it's hats, coffee mugs, drinkware, whatever you want to put on your wall, it's all there. I mean, Peacock makes pillows, you name it. There's not a thing you will not like or not find you don't like. But head on over to neonpeacockmerch.com. Take full advantage of it. There should be, put your email in there, take it, get the, when there's sales and stuff like that, which Peacock does run here and there. And there's some great sales too. So take full advantage of that. But on that note, head on over to neonpeacockmerch.com. Shout out the chat right here. Shout out to Chase. What's up? Orange Crush. Genie in the backstage. But hey, Chase, hope all is well, buddy. You ready for this season? I'm ready to stomp on that crush. But all right, JD, you want to pull up that first picture, please? All righty. So I know I've been harping on the Justin Herbert legacy. Well, for right now, let's get to that. As I said, for most quarterbacks, I'm going to call this one the legacy moment, one left to prove. We all have a lot of things to prove. So Justin Herbert's got some things to prove this year, so we shall see. All right. As for most quarterbacks, putting in historic numbers would be enough to cement their legacy. Well, we hope so, right? Well, for Justin Herbert, to me, it's only the start. It's part of the story, and we're going to see what happens this year. Since entering the NFL, Justin Herbert has shattered records constantly, proving belongs in the elite category. As I mentioned, people want to put him in that elite category. He's just not there just yet, but I feel a funny feeling this year he might put himself into that category. from record-breaking years, his rookie season, becoming one of the fastest quarterbacks in NFL history to reach 5,000 yards, as I mentioned last show, joining Patrick Mahomes and another quarterback. That talent has never been in question for Justin Herbert, but the stats speak for themselves. But stats are stats for a reason. But the debate surrounding Justin Herbert as an elite quarterback is a big question to many. We shall see what happens this year, though. But that debate's going to start this year. Let's see if he belongs in that upper category. You know, they call him an average, or what do they call him? An armchair quarterback or a social media quarterback. Well, hey, I'm sick and tired of those names. Let's put that elite status next to the man's name. But you got to earn it first, though, too. But it's about postseason success. I've mentioned it week in and week out. Yeah, he's 0-3 in the playoffs, just like Peyton Manning was when he started off his career. But, man, I hope that things like to change this year. Well, despite all those regular season stats, not having that postseason win, all those accomplishments are great. They're all great. Single-handedly, you can have those awards here, awards there, but I think Justin Herbert wants that monkey off his back with the playoff record. I mean, he joins what? Comparisons to Chargers legends Dan Fouts, also Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers would put up those numbers. So did Dan Fouts. But, man, Phillip Rivers does have a playoff win. That's a big difference there. Justin Herbert, too. But all had outstanding careers. Justin Herbert's on that path, too. But just got to get these monkeys off his back one thing at a time. But yet another quarterback was able to bring a Super Bowl champ. Neither have been able to bring a championship to Los Angeles. I'm hoping Justin Herbert one day can bring that one to LA. And I ain't going to lie, I'm hoping it's soon. But the opportunity belongs to Justin Herbert. If he wants to prove he's the elite and belong with the best of the best, like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, we know what they can do. Patrick Mahomes has rings. Josh Allen just can't seem to get up that hump either. He's a great quarterback, don't get me wrong. Stats are one thing. He's a solid quarterback. But, you know, these quarterbacks, there's a group of them. You got Lamar, you got Josh Allen, you got Joey Burrow. There's at least 4 or 5 quarterbacks that you can say are damn good quarterbacks, but you want to be elite, you got to get that ring. Mahomes has that, so he can talk his shit all he wants. Excuse my language, but no. I think here with Jim Harbaugh leading the way with Justin Herbert, and then this year you bring in Mike McDaniels, I feel it's going to elevate. McDaniels is going to elevate Justin Herbert's game. I know I tapped on it last week about working on the footwork, the strengths, the timing, all the accuracy. He's working on all those small things. Hopefully this is a better year. I mean, to me, he hasn't had a offensive coordinator like Mike McDaniel. So I think this is going to be a beautiful thing for Herbert and for this offense. This offense, I think, is going to click. As I say, if we can stay healthy, I like what this offense can do for us this year. Should be fun. But the expectations are high this year for Herbert, for this whole team. But you know what? With those high expectations, you need to put up the results. And hopefully we can take those expectations, put them there, and say, let's put these results out there and speak for themselves. They can be expectations, but as a Chargers fan, we have high expectations every single year. Let's meet those expectations and move forward, you know? I mean, I feel Mike McDaniel can elevate Justin Herbert just as many as any other offensive coordinator he's had in his career, which has been numerous, you know? But he, as I said, he's not just the quarterback. He's the Chargers quarterback, and all eyes are going to be on Justin Herbert because now he has the offensive coordinator. Hey, they're going to expect the best one. So to me, to be the best, you got to be the best at your craft. And we shall see what happens this year. But, you know, the records have already been there for Justin Herbert. Now he has to produce, get that playoff win. And I think when he gets that playoff win, it's going to get that monkey off his back. Feel loose, be loose, play how he has to play. Let's get that W. Let's go. I'm excited for this season. Even though it's the off season, I'm pumped. I'm pumped for football. And if Justin Herbert can deliver a championship to the Chargers in the coming years, I'll be the happiest mofo on earth. You can bolt that all the way to the sky. I'll be happy. I mean, that would be that. You can call that one legendary. All right, JD, you want to pull up that number 2 pick, and it's going to be Mr. Tre Harris. All right, yeah, no, I touched on Mr. Harris maybe a couple weeks ago. But there's been a lot of blurbs that Mr. Harris is going to be a thing in this offense this year. He's number 3 on that depth chart behind Ladd, Quentin Johnston, and then comes Tre Harris. But let me get to Mr. Harris. I'm going to call this one the Chargers breakout star this year. We'll see if my little title is right. Football is, you ain't JD. Come on. Soon as Vegas gets here, football's here is about 10 days later when we get home. Football's upon us, man. I mean, soon as that Hall of Fame game kicks off, yeah, I'm ecstatic, man. I'm just pumped for football, talking Chargers football. And come on, look at our schedule this year. We got the 49ers. We got a damn good schedule this year. It's going to be a fun one on the Gen Wealth this year. It's going to be a fun one on the Power Hour every single week. So I know it's going to be lit this year. But let me get to the buzz around Tre Harris. Well, there's a lot of buzz about Tre Harris getting louder for a good season. I think he's going to have a larger pause this year in this offense. He's going to be relied on a little more. So, I mean, yeah, he had a quiet rookie season. He really didn't play too much. He had, snaps here and there, but he really did not play as much last year. This year, I see him having a step up. I mean, after a quiet rookie season, you saw him post about 30 receptions for about, I think it was 325 yards and 1 touchdown. Tre Harris looks like to have a major leap in this offense coming this year, in year 2. I mean, Jim Harbaugh recently noted that Harris has consistently looked like one of the Chargers' top 3 receivers throughout the offseason workouts and in OTAs. That's a beautiful thing. I mean, seeing more reps, it's going to be good for him. Work along Ladd McConkey and also Quentin Johnston. I'll get to a little bit of Ladd McConkey news a bit later in the show, but I mean, as I said, that's kind of high praise coming from Jim Harbaugh, knowing that we have a decent wide receiver room this year and a player that's still developing to have a role in this offense also. So now also Sports Illustrated's Connor Orr also projected a breakout year campaign for Tre Harris. He said believing he could be more of a double his production across the board in the Mike McDaniel's offense. With his combination of size, explosiveness, versatility, Tre Harris has all the tools to become a dangerous weapon for Justin Herbert and the Chargers offense this coming season. I mean, yes, the rookie season was kind of quiet and dull, but his sophomore season could be a complimentary and a different story this year, so we shall see. But don't be surprised if Tre Harris becomes one of the Chargers' biggest breakouts this year. Hey, what's up, nobody? Can you shout out my mom's nursing company, Alpha Cure Mom? Thanks for tuning in for the stream. All right. So as I said, if you got Tre Harris last year in fantasy, had him on your taxi squad or whatnot, hey, I wouldn't just leave him there. This year, he could be a thing this year. So we shall see. Could be a useful flex piece in your offense. So we shall see on that. All right, JD, you want to pull up that number 3 pick, the Cole Strange pitcher? Alrighty, I know we made additions in the offseason, and this was another Mike McDaniel's piece to the puzzle of the McDaniel offense. So one of the unsung heroes I feel an unsung pickup this year was Cole Strange. And I think he's going to be a good addition to this offensive line and the revival of our offensive line that's going to be coming back healthy this year. So this should be plus. When people talk about the Chargers offensive line heading into 2026, names like Rashawn Slater, Joe Alt, they're the names that are always going to float about. But the conversation looks at, it's just not a big ad, but the addition of Cole Strange is going to be a good one. He's familiar with the Mike McDaniel offense in Miami. He could become an important part of this offense and an offensive piece on this offensive unit this year, I feel. After spending last season in Miami with Mike McDaniel, offensive system is Strange arrived in LA with something more to prove than teammates just to have. First-hand experience of the schemes Mike McDaniel runs and knows how he works these things. So basically, it's why we brought in the piece to run for the McDaniels. I mean, At first, I was like, who the hell is Cole Strange? I knew the name. I just didn't put 2 and 2 together that, hey, he's coming with Mike McDaniel, that, hey, I was coming along for the ride. But hey, if people think this is a key piece for us, then I'm all for that. But, anything to make this offensive line better with Alt, Slater, Biotish, and what we have, I'm fine. I know it's maybe a 1 to 2 year deal. That's fine. But to me, if it helps the run game, and for anything that helps Omarion, Hampton, Vidal, and Mitchell, I'm all set there. So to me, that's why I feel he could be a sneaky piece in this offensive line. I mean, his experience and the schemes, that knowledge, he hasn't allowed. He can hit the ground running without having to learn it. He knows this offense that Mike McDaniel is going to run and what we're expecting of him. So it's not going to be a learning curve. He knows what he's going to be doing for us. He knows his role, helping out guide the teammates. They need to know. That's going to be a good thing. I mean, I think all the pieces that we made in this offseason, all were scheme fits to the McDaniel fit. Also, I mean, the Chargers have made it clear they want their offensive line athletic players who can move in space, communicate effectively, and execute at high levels on this offensive line. Excuse me. I mean, we're going to get a high-level offense this year. Modern, motion, heavy offense. Pause. Cole Strange checks the box on all those things, on all those boxes. But most, it's his familiarity with this offense that's going to help us. But don't be surprised if Cole Strange is one of those biggest reasons he on this offense starts to click. So we shall see. I mean, it's going to give Justin Herbert more time. It's going to give Omarion, Hampton, more time. Keaton Mitchell, and Vidal. I mean, I think this run game this year is going to be a beautiful thing for the Chargers. The rotation is going to be one that we'll see. Hampton's our lead back, but we're going to have Mitchell coming in there with the speed, Vidal. It's going to be a wonderful rotation pass. So I think this is an offense that is going to be a fun one to watch this year. And I think it's going to be I'm not going to say a top 5 offense, but I think it's going to be a high-powered, high-scoring offense for sure. But I think sometimes these small additions to the offensive line or these small, sneaky signings sometimes could be maybe a small signing, but could be a big thing for the team overall. I mean, if it fits, and if we feel this is the fit for this offense and the offensive line, then great. See how it all works and plans out. But sometimes the most important additions aren't just the splashiest ones. Cole Strange is just proving that already. It could be just a really good one for this offensive line going forward. All righty then, JD, let's get to that Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnston pitcher. All right, well, this is going to be a debate, I feel, for the year. Who's going to score much more touchdowns, Ladd or Q? I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, it's going to be Ladd. But, it's going to be a debate. We know what Quentin Johnston's done the past 2 years, eight touchdowns in both years. So, I mean, and this offense is going to be the Mike McDaniel offense. So this could be a lot of paws going around this year. Hopefully a lot of touchdowns going around too. So we shall see. I'm going to call this one. I got to pull this up. I'm going to call it who scores more TDs in 2026, Ladd or Q. Hey, I'm not going to be worried about who's scoring more touchdowns. If I am, it's probably going to be from the Chargers. As long as they score, I don't care. But then again, we have them on our fantasy teams. I got both. So then again, some teams I do have both of them. So I'm going to be greedy and say, feed me the bowl. So now let's get to the point. As I say, one of the most fascinating at sea. Anna, hey, welcome to the stream. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. I hope you're having a wonderful day and a wonderful week. So one of the most fascinating fantasy football debates heading into this season, is happening right at LA, and it's going to be Quentin Johnston or Ladd McConkey. Quentin Johnston finished 2025 leading the Chargers, as I said, with 8 touchdowns, showing big play, ability, red zone presence that made him a first-round pick. his size, speed, ability to stretch the defenses made him one of Justin Herbert's favorite targets near the goal line the past 2 years. So now you enter the wild card. You got Ladd McConkey. I know he's number one on the depth chart and Q number 2, but we got to see. Ladd McConkey did in phase. I'll get to it now. Now that I'm on this, phase 2 of OTAs, Ladd McConkey strained his hamstring. So it's going to be something to monitor going forward. But I'm glad it happened now than in the season or just before the season started. But they say he's going to be okay by the next for camp and all that stuff. So that's just heal up. But yeah, that's something I don't want to hear right now because I said that's what happens to the Chargers all the time. There's injuries. But I'm glad it's right now. But it's something we're going to have to monitor with Ladd. Speaking of Ladd McConkey quickly became established himself as Justin Herbert's one of his favorite target his rookie season. Most reliable and then most explosive weapons for the Chargers. And his route running, his separation, and his ability to create yards was what was a beautiful thing for the Chargers and that offense. After the catch, he was an amazing fantasy football favorite too. Trust me, I drafted him, and he was a great rookie year, but last year was a down year. So, but with Mike McDaniels helping shape out this offensive philosophy, there's reason to believe Ladd McConkey can see an even larger role in 2026. From the fantasy perspective, volume is king. We know that. The more volume you get, PPR, you love that. But while Quentin Johnston may continue the primary red zone threat, McConkey has the legitimate chance to lead the Chargers in targets this year. What's up, Earth to Cam Bam? Chargers were mid-season last year, yeah, without a healthy offensive line. We got that this year, so we shall see. I don't think they're going to be mid this year. I think they're going to be knocking on the door of that AFC West this year. So that mid stuff, it's all good, man. But welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Nah, man. But, hey, what team are you repping? Just curious. So, as I said, I mean, the Chargers I think Ladd's going to lead the Chargers in targets, receptions, and overall fantasy points probably. More opportunities often translate into more chances to score, especially in the McDaniels offense. I'll give you the case for Quentin Johnston. He's a proven touchdown producer. We know that 8 in the past 2 years in a row. Elite size in the red zone. Deep ball threat. Pause. Big play upside every week. Now the case for Ladd McConkey. Potential team leader in targets, as I said. Consistent weekly volume. Strong chemistry with Justin Herbert. We know that. That's off the charts. And then the offensive scheme that could maximize Ladd McConkey's skill set is going to be a great thing. Now, the fantasy predictions, yeah, if you're looking at a receiver who finishes with more fantasy points, you got to go and overtake Ladd McConkey. But you always have that dark horse of Quentin Johnston. We know how we started off last year. The first, I think, 5 games were out. He was going bow wow last year. Hey, man, the Chargers got Miami this year, man. Shout out to the Dolphins, man. That's a team that's rebuilding. But you got a good coach there. You see what's going on, man. I got one of my good friends from Massachusetts was a diehard Dolphins fan. So shout out to the Dolphins. And, hey, the future is bright. You got a coach. You just got to get that quarterback, and you never know what can happen. But, hey, shout out to the Dolphins. We'll see you on our schedule this year. But, hey, good luck to your team this year. But, no, I think – okay, so if I had to take for a prediction for the fantasy of these two quarterbacks – I'll say Ladd McConkey has 9 TDs. That's my prediction. I'm going to say Quentin Johnston has 8 or so himself, but I do see Ladd being the go-to receiver in this offense, but I see Quentin Johnston just neck and neck with Ladd as he always. We should have. Yeah, I know. It was 1 pick off. You got Mr. El Concusto. I don't know if I'm going to use that on the stream, but yeah, I understand, man. It was 1 pick off, and I know a lot of Dolphins fans were like, what if? Only if. Yeah, could you imagine Tyreek Hill with Justin Herbert? That would have been sick. I ain't gonna lie. The thought of that, I don't want to think about it, but man, Miami was one off. And they say, what if? what could have been would have been a nice thing. And Mike McDaniels would have had Herbert already. So that would have been a wonderful thing too. But man, y'all, man, you'll be fine over in Miami. They always are. Just rebuild right now. And I think you got a great piece in A-Chain to build around. I think you guys are going to have at least maybe 5 or 6 wins possibly this year. I don't know. I do not know. I haven't seen Miami's schedule, but I just hope the best, man. I mean, Miami's always been a solid team, but hey, good luck to them. As I said, I think Ladd 9 touchdowns and Quentin Johnston 8. But, in fantasy, as I say, fantasy is a gamble. You never know what can happen. Injuries happen. But if you do have Ladd McConkey, don't hesitate to grab Quentin Johnston also just to back him up. Having Ladd. But no, I think any Chargers player this year in fantasy, from Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnston, are going to be a reliable piece in fantasy this year, along with Hampton. I mean, I'm not saying go out and grab Tre Harris too. No, I'm not going to say that. I mean, I have him on a couple teams. He's a great flex option if in there, but I wouldn't say it's something you have to go do. But if you got Ladd, go out and get Quentin Johnston. You guys, I think we have a chance to get Tyreek Hill this year. You guys have a chance yeah, we do. But I seen a blurb out a couple days ago that the Kansas City Chiefs are the front runners. But I mean, that's all can be smoke and mirrors. But I don't even know. I know he had a second operation. We shall see what goes on with Tyreek Hill. If it's maybe a thing we kick the tires down the road, maybe in June or July, we shall see. Hey, Song, thanks, buddy. Hope you're doing well. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Vegas, buddy. It's going to be some fun times, but just around 60-plus days now till we all land in Sin City and have some fun, have some fantasy drafts, and have some good times like we did this year. Looking forward to had a blast with you last year, Song. Dolphins haven't had a playoff win my whole life. I hear you there, man. One of my, as I mentioned, my friend who's shout out to Norman, God rest his soul. He was a great Dolphins fan. Even though we play him, I always think about him. He always had his Dolphins thing on. And I don't know many Dolphins fans. I probably know about 3, maybe 4 in my lifetime. But other than that, he was a diehard Dolphins. We always would bet on the game. And if the Dolphins won or lost, we always had to wear each other's jersey or something on social media. It was kind of cool. But no, I don't know too many Dolphins fans, but shout out to the Dolphins organization. I mean, this shit, they do have Dan Marino. Then there's some. I remember watching the Dolphins growing up. I live in Massachusetts. You got the only team that's ever been undefeated. So shout out to the Dolphins. They've done something right. I mean, no other team has done that. So that's something the Dolphins can hang their head on. But on that note, that's all I have on that segment. JD, you want to pull up the segment 5 of the coach that we both know? All righty, Jimmy Harbaugh, as they call him, Jimmy Football. So here we go. Jim Harbaugh belongs among the NFL best, I feel. Well, that's the name of this. I'll title this one, though. So let me get what up, Bakes? Good morning, my good brother. Hey, as I said the song, we're not that far off from Vegas. I get to see my good brothers. I get to chill with you all. It's going to be some good times, man. Hey, Bakes, I'm going to do a stream out in Vegas, a power hour. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care. I'll have my good Raider brother up next to me. I don't give a shit what people's got to say. Shout out to the Crooked Commish and the Chicago Clubhouse. Make sure you check out over there. What's up, Commish? Shout out to everyone keeping this chat lit. I appreciate every one of you. It was like that last week. I love it. And I keep it, man. It keeps me going. But on that note, I'm going to get to my coach. All right. When you speak about when Jim Harbaugh returned to the NFL, sidelines, there was expectations. He's got to bring toughness, discipline, and a winning mentality. Well, the Los Angeles Chargers have delivered exactly that. We put up 10-plus wins every year he's been coaching. So, to me, we've been in the playoffs. We haven't had the results we wanted, or as Chargers fans wanted in general. I'll take the playoff wins over regular season wins, but I'll take the 2+ years of 11 consistent wins. Yes, sir. I'm down for a collab. Hey, man, I'm going to have a lot of collab sessions this season. I'm going to be bringing on, a team in Kansas City. I'm going to be jumping over on one of their podcasts, and then they'll probably jump on this one. So it's going to be fun, man. But, Bakes, it's an open invitation for Raider Nation to come on the Power Hour. You know that. This year, I'm going to tone it down this year. The hatred, I'm getting a lot better. I'm not saying the Raiders. I'm saying the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm having respect for you, your team, because I know they're going to be a team to reckon with in the next couple of years. Give that team time to gel. You got your quarterback now. All you need now is a wide receiver, which possibly you could get next year. We shall see. But I'm just saying, I'm not going to shit all over someone's team because they like the Raiders. No. That's your team, man. You could shit all over my team if you wanted to. And I have to respect you just as much as I would expect someone to respect my team. So I'm going to get better at this year and not be as hateful, because you know what? It really doesn't look that good. But you know what? I don't want it to come across. I know it's a rivalry in the division. Don't get me wrong. It's good to shit talk and badmouth your opponent. No, that's fantasy. That's all shit. That's good enough. But you know what? I value the friendships I've gained, and I value each and every one of you. So you know what? I'm going to be better this year. That's a change for me. I saw what my mistakes I made last year. Shitting all over teams didn't do any good. Did we win them? No. But you know what? It made it fun. It made it a clip. It was good. But the more I look back at it, I was like, yeah, I could be better. But no, Harbaugh has guided the Bolts to back-to-back playoffs appearances, successful 11-win seasons, helping transform a franchise that had a long struggle to live up to the potential. The Chargers aren't talented anymore. Bullshit. They're consistent winners. And we know everywhere Jim Harbaugh goes, he wins. So that success hasn't gone unnoticed. The Pro Football Focus analyst Bradley Locker recently ranked Jim Harbaugh as the number 10 coach in the NFL. Hey, Bakes, we'll do a lot of fun things this year. We got 2 games. We could have some fun, man. I just wish you had a Raiders show, man. It would be fun. I'd love to come on a show like that, man. But I got a lot. I ain't gonna lie. I have friends that are Raiders fans, and they say, Lee, you talk your shit, but back it up. I'm like, yeah, we back it up. But you know what? It's going to be a fun year, man. I'm looking forward to all these collabs and having a fun year. But as they said, they ranked Jim Harbaugh number 10. While some fans may argue he deserves to be even higher, the recognition reflects what Harbaugh has accomplished throughout his coaching career. We know what he's done. If it's the 49ers, from everywhere he's gone, he's been a winner. He's turned around the franchise. Yeah, he's turned around the Chargers in the 2 plus years he's been here. But, we just alluding is that playoff win. Yeah, it hurts losing to Peacock's Texans, losing to the Patriots last year. I'm sick and tired of being in the playoffs one game and then going bye-bye, going home, one and done. I don't want that one and done shit. I want to walk into the playoffs, get that playoff win, and just move on. I'm sick and tired of you're in the playoffs. That's great to get there, but you want to move on, move in. But, Locker didn't just took Harbaugh at 22-12 record with the Chargers. He also considered Harbaugh's entire NFL resume, which includes an outstanding 6.79 career winning percentage everywhere Harbaugh has coached. He's changed the culture, built accountability, and produced results. We know what he did with the 49ers. He took them all the way to the NFC Championship game. So everywhere he goes, he wins. He's done that here with the Chargers. But I think for us fans, it's great to have the winning regular seasons, but let's win in the playoffs. That's where it counts. That's where it makes more. It's great to have a regular season record, but let's get those playoff W's. I ain't going to lie. That's what I want. I'm sick and tired of, as I said, one and done. Let's go furthermore. The Chargers have spent years searching for stability and an identity. We finally have an identity. What we're doing, we're run hard-nosed football. As I said, we built from the trenches out, and that's what Jim Harbaugh, how he likes to build his teams, and he's building it out. We've seen that in the drafts. We've seen that how we're producing, and the players we are doing. We're building from the trenches. Joe Alt. We got all the pieces that we knew, and that's, I feel, we're building, but we're building every single year. But let's build a winning. We have a winning culture now, but let's continue to build in the playoffs. The question is now, this year, it's a make or break year. You know, I've seen a lot of Chargers fans say, hey, yeah, we have Jim Harbaugh, but he hasn't won anything yet. Those regular seasons are great and all, but it's about winning in the playoffs. Could Jim Harbaugh, if he doesn't take the Chargers to the playoffs, is he on the hot seat? Who the hell knows? That's another question I've seen floated out there. I don't look at it that way. I think the 11 wins year in, year out, I think he's going to produce exactly the same thing this year, but I'm hoping for more in the playoffs. I mean, it's whether Harbaugh can lead the Chargers to the ultimate goal and bring a championship to LA. That's what we all Chargers fans want. One thing is clear is Jim Harbaugh isn't just rebuilding the Chargers. He's defending what fans should expect from this franchise: accountability and going forward. And that's one thing he does. He has accountability for all his players and expects the same return. So we shall see what happens this coming season. But I mean, I love what we finally have a coach that's holding the players accountable, holding the team accountable for all their actions. That's what I want. You don't see the Chargers in the news or like the Kansas City Chiefs because we have an accountability coach. I mean, a couple, like 4 or 5 seasons, yeah, you would see us in the news for some stupid kind of shit. Least coach holds our players accountable. I can't say that for Kansas City. I'm just saying. You got a little rugrat running around doing every damn well, please. Fried rice. Motherfucker's out the fucking jail, so good for him. But for my fantasy team, that's a good thing. But other than that, we shall see what happens for fried rice. You know, just another scrambled brain. All right, JD, you want to pull up segment 6, the Tarheeb Still. All right, so I mentioned the breakout here about for Tre Harris. Now, as for Tarheeb Still, I think this year is going to be a year. He showed flashes last year. Tarheeb Still, man, I think it's a leap this year. He burst onto the scene as a rookie, earning national attention and finishing 7th in Defensive Rookie of the Year voting with an impressive debut season for the Chargers. Heading into 2025, the challenge was simple. Prove that year wasn't just a fluke. While the spotlight wasn't just quite as bright on the second season, Tarheeb still quietly remained one of the Chargers' most reliable contributors on defense, along with Derwin James and others. I mean, we finished with 11-6 and returned to the playoffs. But the numbers for Tarheeb Still were 15 games played, 13 starts, 53 total tackles, 5 tackles for a loss, 7 passes defended, tied for third on the team. That stands out. What stands out most was his versatility and physicality by Tarheeb Still. I mean, he isn't afraid to come downhill and make tackles and is willing to do the dirty work. Gives the Chargers flexibility on that secondary. Now the conversion shifts to year 3. We shall see. Can Tarheeb Still take that next leap from dependable starter to one of the ASC's emerging quarterbacks? And there's a lot of good ones out there. The talent is there. The experience is building for Tarheeb Still. But in the other offseason, hey, his belt, the opportunity is right there in front of him to take that next leap. If the development continues for Still, the trajectory, Tarheeb Still could become one of the unsung heroes for the Chargers defense, looking to make a serious noise in 2026, and especially with new defensive coordinator Chris O'Leary, who has said he has been standing out in OTAs, doing his thing. So, and I think the cornerback room this year that was good last year, I think it's going to be the same this year. Maybe a little drop down, but I don't see much of a take to this defense this year. I really don't. I think a lot of people were like, oh, they're going to take a hit from Jesse Minter gone. Yeah, I think we take a small hit, but I don't think it's going to be too large, pause, to be honest with you. But I would keep an eye on 29. His best football may be still ahead of him this year. I mean, he turned his head as a rookie, became a steady contributor on the Chargers team last year in year 2. Big question is, can he take that third-year leap? and be on the verge of a breakout season. I think he can do something good this year. He's a young cornerback, could be ready for the biggest play and the biggest leap this year. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping a lot of leap from a lot of players this year on the Chargers defense. But we shall see. All righty. JD, you want to pull up that segment 7 protected and poised picture? Thank you. All right. I know I've touched on this a lot about Joe Alt, Rashawn Slater, and about Justin Herbert being protected. But I'll say this. I'll call this one protected and poised. One of the biggest reasons there's hope in Los Angeles and for the Chargers this season doesn't start just with a flashy new weapon or a bold prediction made by many. It starts up front, and that's the offensive line. I know every single week I sound like a broken record. I'm excited for this offensive line because we never had one last year. What did we have last year? 16 different offensive line combinations, most in the NFL. So we had last year was like a juggling offensive line that was there. It was a makeshift one. We were making one week in, week out. Hopefully someone was healthy enough just to throw them there or throw them from the practice squad just to be on the team, just to make that offensive line last year. That's how bad it was. It was sad having 16 combinations, and that was pretty rough. But according to Sports Illustrated, the return of the Chargers offensive tackles could be the difference in 2026 for Justin Herbert and for this offensive line. We shall see. We already know what Justin Herbert can do. Brings to the table. He's still one of the top quarterbacks in the league, capable of making every throw. And you saw that last year without an offensive line. Now just add Joe Alt, Rashawn Slater back, now Tyler Biadasz, Cole Strange. A line that I couldn't last year just whip off because I couldn't remember the names in my head. Now I can. Biadasz now, Cole Strange, Alt, Slater. We have a line. It's going to be is it going to be a great line? We shall see. But, last season, Herbert was sacked 54 freaking times, pressured numerous times. But I'm not hoping to keep track of those two stats this year. I mean, I'm going to do it out of the way, but I don't want to see those numbers in double digits because last year I was like, this is crazy. But, last season, as I said, Herbert 54 times. That's a staggering number for a franchise quarterback. Injuries played a major role to Rashawn Slater, Joe Alt, combined to make just 6 starts all season long. That's what I'm saying. So 17 games scheduled. We got 6 full games from the two of them when they should have had about 34 between the two of them. So this is a big difference. We're going to see from last year to this year what Justin Herbert did last year without an offensive line to this year having a healthy offensive line, that what we can do. And I think there's going to be a big difference. And I hope to shut up a lot of people this year. I ain't going to lie. Because I took a lot of shit last year, and I had to back it up. But, man, my quarterback was a tough son of a bitch last year without an offensive line. But as I said, the Raiders got better this year in the offseason. They went out, spent all their money, got the players they needed, got their quarterback they needed. Mendoza got a new center. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I wanted that as a center, but not at that. That was a big, steep, costly price you paid over there for the Vegas Raiders for that center. But, hey, shout out. You have a young quarterback and a rookie quarterback, so you can make that decision. But shout out. But as I said, we got both tackles back, healthy, and back in the lineup. If Slater and Alt can provide the consistent protection Herbert has been missing that he didn't have last season, the Chargers offense could take a major leap forward this year. More time in the pocket, more explosive plays, things I've mentioned that we never had last year, better decision-making, and a chance for Herbert to remind the league exactly why he's considered one of the game's elite signal callers. Now we can say that this year, possibly, with the Mike McDaniels. He's worked on his footwork, his timing, his technique, all these small little things that a quarterback needs to get the ball out, pause faster. Justin Herbert's going to do that this year. It's going to be a fun, as I said, fun offense to watch, a fun fantasy offense to have. But you know what? long as Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt stay healthy, keep Justin Herbert clean, a jersey clean, and more time in the pocket for him to throw the ball, it's going to be a beautiful thing for this Chargers offense this year. And Omarion and Hampton's going to have that time to run the ball with Vidal and Mitchell. I think this offense is going to click on all cylinders this year. For the Chargers, we always have hope. It isn't just the hype, but now that we have the protection, let's shut up all the naysayers. That's all I want to do. I mean, last year was last year. We saw without an offensive line. Now this year, add Mike McDaniel, add the small additions, then add having your bookend tackles back. It could be a big change seeing the Chargers in 2025 last year to this year. So it's going to be night and day. But, I mean, sometimes the biggest offseason addition isn't just a new face. It's getting your stars healthy and that returning face that we all miss seeing on the field. That was Joe Alt, and that was Rashawn Slater. Now, I know I said last week, the injury that scares me the most is going to be Rashawn Slater's. That other two, I'm not too worried about Joe Alt's, but Rashawn Slater was a much more significant injury. So that's the one that, hey, I'm kind of a little worried. It's one that I'll be watching this year, man. If I see him like, ew. And how is he? I mean, I've seen some videos of him. He looks pretty good. He's doing everything in OTAs. Of course, it's OTAs, but it's not game time just yet. But they say he's going to be ready for the season. But as I said, Herbert's getting his stars back. The Chargers keep Justin Herbert upright. Watch out. This could be the NFL's biggest turnaround story this season, is what this offense looked like this past season compared to this upcoming season. So it could be a night and day thing for the Chargers. So on that one, JD, you want to pull up the Mike McDaniel effect? Here we go. All right, I'll call this one the Mike McDaniel effect. Can he unlock Justin Herbert? I think he can. He's been working on a lot of things. As I said, the footwork, the technique, everything else. He's been working with Justin Herbert on those things to make him a better quarterback and better quarterback in this offense that we're going to be running this year. So let me get down to it. One of the biggest questions surrounding the Chargers this offseason isn't about the defense. It isn't about the offensive line. It isn't even about the weapons that we have. The real question is this: can Mike McDaniel truly unlock an absolute best version of Justin Herbert in 2026? I think he can. Because the answer, if it's yes, I think the rest of the AFC should be on notice. We're not the last year's Chargers. We're going to have an offensive mind with an offensive genius that runs through that man's head. I don't know if I want to pick that man's head, but the schemes is going to be crazy this year, and I know that's going to be fun. Clip that, because it's going to be a fun offense to watch. I mean, you think about the Chargers have built around the franchise quarterback Justin Herbert. You got David Njoku. You got Ladd McConkey. You got Rashawn Slater, Joe Alt, and the addition of Talib Biadasz. And then you also have everything else that we have on the Chargers. I mean, it's going to be a fun. The talent is there. Now that they've added one of the most NFL's motivated offensive minds in Mike McDaniel, that crazy head's going to go spinning. Man, I don't know. I think he's going to give Jim Harbaugh a run for his money, man. But it's going to be fun seeing how these two click together. That, to me, is the going to be fun to watch how they both click. I mean, I know Jim likes it his way, but I know Mike McDaniel likes it his way. But it looks like so far, I know it's only the offseason. They're gelling the meshing, but this is going to be interesting to see how it works. I mean, what's fascinating that Herbert and McDaniel come from two completely different offensive worlds. I mean, throughout his career, Herbert has been asked to carry a high volume passing. No, on Herbert, I feel McDaniel will unlock. Oh, I think he's going to unlock Hampton. You ain't lying. What he did with A-Chain was ridiculous. That run game is going to be off the charts this year, Bakes. I know that. We have what? Hampton, Mitchell, and Vidal. I think the run game is going to be a very vital piece of our offense this year. But knowing that we're not going to have to rely on Hampton solely because he had injuries last year. But no, Yeah, exactly. What he did with A-Chain, it was crazy. That kid was a beast. And we know how Hampton runs. He's a power back. So he's a 3-down back, and he can do that. But, this off, yeah, you're right. Hampton is going to be leaned on quite a bit this year. If he can stay healthy, I see a big year too. But I also see a big year too. I ain't going to lie, Bakes, from Genty. I think now that y'all have a line this year, but I do see Washington's taking a lot of snaps. Also, I don't know. I mean, it's good that you got to have a 1-2 punch of Genty and Washington, but that's going to be an interesting thing, man. I've been seeing a lot of people say in a Raiders group saying, "Yo, Washington is coming for that. Is going to take a lot of his snaps this year." But hey, I remember your coach saying he wanted to have that 1-2 punch. So, hey, Josh, welcome to the stream, Duval. Shout out to Duval, and shout out to the Jaguar Nation. Thanks for joining the stream, Josh. But as I said, I mean, it's fascinating for Herbert. But throughout his career, Herbert wasn't just a high passing, but elite arm talent elevate this offense. I think McDaniel can elevate Herbert to the things that he needed to work on. But McDaniel's philosophy is different. His offense is like thrives on motion plays, action, timing, misdirections, and creative, easy answers for the quarterback before the ball is even snapped. That's why they've been working on his timing. He said that's one of the things he noticed about Justin Herbert was his timing. I think it was like 2.7 seconds it was taking to get the ball out. And now they said he's cut that in half. So, and we shall see. But the objective isn't just to limit Justin Herbert. It's to maximize him, I feel. It's not allowing Herbert to play faster, think less, attack defenses, but to be efficient and precise. Because Herbert already possesses everything you can't teach in the quarterback. He's got the elite arm talent. Excuse my dog. Outstanding mobility. We know how he had to run for his life last year. Exceptional toughness. He's a tough son of a bitch. And one of the NFL's best deep ball passers. But if McDaniel can blend Herbert's rare physical gifts with his quarterback-friendly system, this offense and this offense in general can be potential to become an explosive offense if it's the run game or it's the passing game. But as Bake said, yeah, Hampton is going to be a thing this year in fantasy football and for the Chargers this year. So I'm looking forward to that. And Keaton Mitchell is more, yeah, I'm kind of Bakes. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how Keaton Mitchell is going to be used this year. Yeah, Mitchell is more of an A-chain prospect and built, and maybe a diamond in the rough. Yeah, I know. I've been looking at things of how things are going to be. I know it's early right now, but I think as we get into June, and July and all, we're going to see how things are pan out. But that Mitchell speed, we know what he can do. I mean, and we know what Hampton can do, but having that 1-2 punch is going to be nice for the Chargers. I can't remember having this very often for us. So, but as I said, this roster is loaded for the Chargers this year. The quarterback's elite. I'm going to say he's elite, but the expectations this year have never been higher now that Mike McDaniel is here for this year. But now it's time to find out if Justin Herbert and Mike McDaniel can become the AFC next great quarterback coach partnership. But Mike McDaniel's only going to be here for a year. So yeah, I've already come to that conclusion. It's going to be a great year, hopefully. And maybe that duo finally brings something to the Chargers, a winning season in the play and get into the playoffs. And then go on into the playoffs. But on that note, JD, you want to pull up that news and notes picture? Hashtag. Alrighty, let me get to the news. Chargers second-year safety RJ Mickens. His name has been floating around as a standout in OTAs so far. NFL rumors from Chargers OTAs hint that a big second year is emerging for RJ Mickens. So, hey, we know what he did last year. Let's hope for that one. Inside offensive lineman Jake Slaughter, who's gotten some first-team reps at left guard, reps in OTAs, as the new staff tries to convert him to left guard. So it looks like he's going to be playing left guard from us. And they say he's doing center, he's doing guard, he's doing a lot of different things. But they say I think the center to guard is the easiest to guard to center. So And as for Jim Harbaugh said on Omarion Hampton, his fit in the Mike McDaniel's new system, I think it's a fit. It fit him great. And he says it's going to be a big year for Omarion. And also, Chargers offensive coordinator Mike McDaniel has been working on speeding up Justin Herbert's throwing motion, as I said, and adjusting his footwork this offseason. So there's going to be a lot of quirks coming on there. But as I said, Ladd McConkey, as said earlier in the show, in phase 2 of the OTAs, did strain his hamstring, but they did say he should be fine in no time for training camp. So that's a good thing. But it's something to keep an eye on. But it's been, it's OTAs, but I'm glad it's now and later. But JD, you want to pull up those QR pictures, please? Thank you. All right. Let me give a shout out to my boy Jay over at TikTok Charged Up podcast. As I say, if you're rocking me on X, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, I want to truly appreciate all the love and support y'all give me. It makes me want to check out Jay over on TikTok with the Charged Up. Also, Booga Peters, thank you for coming on yesterday with JD, myself, and Bogey. It was a pleasure. We look forward to joining you on your show. And that invitation I passed on to JD and to Bogey, we look forward to that one. We'll work it all out in time. But also check out Taylor Bloom over at the Electric Edge. It's another Chargers podcast. And as I mentioned, Booga Peters has his BoltBlitz Uncut. And you will find Taylor Bloom over on there quite a bit. And also shout out to the man backstage, JD, the fella. Check out his Heart to Start YouTube channel. Check out these kick-ass dope videos he's been making, his fantasy videos, his isms, and all those things from last year to this year. He's dropping them, and he's working on more. So shout out to my guy backstage, JD. Thanks to everyone that supported us with the World Cup games. I had a blast doing the England game yesterday. That was fun. I was excited. But I know tomorrow it's not just wake your game up in the morning. Followed by that, we're going to have the United States and Australian World Cup games. So make sure to check that out with JD, myself, and the crew. We're doing that. And then on Saturday, JD and I will be doing a CFL game. So, and as I said, we're never not doing something. So make sure to tune in. But as I said, check out all those content creators. They're grinding. They're putting out great content daily, weekly, whatnot. But I appreciate JD backstage. Booga Peters for having me on again on this show last week. I appreciated that. It was much fun. But check them all out. They're all great content creators, putting out great work, working hard, grinding daily. Shout out to all of them. But, hey, I want to thank everyone for tuning in, keeping the chat lit. They did last week, kept the chat lit this week. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate the support. Shout out to JD. Shout out to Bobby, Kidda, Peacock, especially for that kick-ass video he made for the Chargers Power opening. I love it. I appreciate you. We appreciate everything you do for the channel. As I said, head on over to neonpeacockmerch.com. Check out everything from the Lightning Lad t-shirts, the LA Jam. Check out everything. Peacock's got something for it. I mean, the Chicago Clubhouse, it's loaded over there. Check out the t-shirts for the Chicago Clubhouse. There's not a shirt you're not going to find. What Peacock does, some of the work he does is absolutely crazy good. I mean, he puts his own work to it, but when he's done with this shit, it's excellent shit. If you need to reach out to Peacock, just get in contact with me and I will get you this contact information because he makes some of the best custom stuff out there. Great prices, great work, but most a great friend, but a great artist in what he does. And his artwork is fantastic. The music videos he does for Bogey, music videos is absolutely crazy. They're crazy good. The details, everything's there. So head on over to neonpeacockmerch.com. Check out everything over there. As I said, put your email address in there. Make sure you sign up. Take full advantage of the sales when they're that. But on that, thank you for joining me for the Chargers Power Hour, Season 2, Episode 10. And make sure to tune in next week. I'll figure out the time with JD, with the World Cup and all the other things going on. But no, I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time out of your day to watch the Chargers Power Hour. And on that note, I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of the day, rest of the week, and has a wonderful weekend that's coming up. On that note, hey, man, I know I'm going to turn up. It's my birthday this weekend. I'm going to have some fun. So, man, thank you. Shout out to everyone for tuning in today. Have a wonderful day. JD, thank you, my friend. Shout out to Bogey. I hope your daughter's recital went fantastic. She killed it as always. And Bogey, no worries. You can always watch it, man, on replay. But I appreciate you watching all the time. And for all the guys in the GWN, thank you for all your support every single time and the amazing friendships. And, man, I'm looking forward to Vegas where the countdown is on. Let's fucking go, fellas. On that note, bolt the fuck up. Let's go!
Yeah, I'm getting it. School of hard knock. I'm the mascot flipping shit.